Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the FTD webinar titled Holiday Success Strategies Expert Roundtable. We are delighted to welcome today's featured panelists, Deborah de la Flor, AIFD, owner of de la Flor Florist and Gardens in Cooper City, Florida. Samantha Bates, AIFD, owner of Especially For You Floral in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. And Randy Wooten, AIFD, owner of RW Wholesale in Douglas, Georgia. And I'm your moderator, Janet Justice with FTD. As a quick housekeeping note, the panel will answer questions throughout the webinar, so simply type your questions in the question box on the control panel. All right, welcome, Deborah, Samantha, and Randy. Let's start with inventory planning. So, Randy, when's the best time for retail florists to place their holiday orders with wholesalers?
Janet, that's a great question, and that's one that I feel florists struggle with because we're all busy. But the sooner the better. I mean, we're talking Christmas is the next holiday that we're planning for, and in reality, we should have been planning for that back in October. Now, for the next holiday, Valentine's Day, I know we don't want to hear this, but we need to be planning in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. By mid to end December, that should be put to bed. And by doing so, you're giving plenty of time for your wholesaler to pre-book that product. And one thing that I found over my short time being in the wholesale business is that with a pre-book, I pretty much get 99.9% of what I pre-book. Not saying there's not some hiccups along the way, but one thing florists need to understand is that farms fill pre-book orders first. Whatever's left of that crop then is available to come to the States in open market. And once it hits open market, you've got thousands of wholesalers and retailers that are in there online trying to snag up all of that product at one time. So it goes really fast and really quick. In a Southern phrase, I'd say there's a lot of people fishing in a small pond, and there's only so many fish to be caught. So the sooner the better.
Okay, all right. Samantha, how far in advance do you begin planning and ordering inventory for the holiday season?
So as far as planning goes, one thing that we started to do probably about a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, is as soon as the holiday is over with, we sit down and we take all the notes. Anything that we noticed didn't work out as well, we talk about what we ran out of, what we could have used more of, anything like that that could help us for the next year. We sit down and do it right then and there so that it is fresh. Because 8 months from now, I'm not going to remember that, oh, I could have used one more box of leather leaf, or I could have used one more of this. So I really try to sit down and take down immediate notes, get it with the staff, sit down with them and see what they thought worked well, what didn't work well, or if they have any ideas for the next year that we can go ahead and put pen to paper on and get ready for. So we really try to do it as soon as possible, right after the holiday, again, while it's fresh in your head. And then when you're coming up on that holiday, you can easily reference back those notes and go and see what's going to work for you best this year.
Awesome. That sounds like a great idea. I've heard that in the past from others as well.
Yeah.
And that
Valentine's is a big one for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Deborah, I throw that question out to you too, if you have anything to add with that.
Well, that was exactly my answer on another question that's talking about avoiding shortages and all that, is ordering early, but printing out last year's inventory. What did you do? What did you buy? What didn't work? Exactly what Samantha does. I keep a folder on my desk during that holiday, and I run in the office and I'm writing notes down immediately about how many more pre-mades, how many more of this and that, what could I use? This wasn't good. This will be better. You know, so exactly the same thing, and that's what everyone should do. It's critical. You know when the holiday's coming, it's not a surprise, but your notes help you immensely. It's a must.
Yeah, that's a great idea, because you can even write down, you know, when you're running out of something, what day, what, you know, if you're considering your holiday, you know, period that week, you know, oh, 3 days in, we're already out. We definitely could have used a lot more.
What sold well this year, and then doesn't mean it's going to sell good the next year. So you really got to use a lot of intuition as well as to trends and what's going on that year. But I'm telling you, the notes help you so much, so much.
Awesome, awesome. Excuse me. Randy, how do you help retail florists ensure that they have the right products on hand to meet the demand?
Well, for me, I pull a lot of information that I share with my customers from my retail experience. And what you ladies just shared is spot on. You know, a lot of people may laugh at what I'm about to say, but over the last probably 8 or 10 years, I never dreaded Valentine's Day anymore. Not that it wasn't a lot of work, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the key to that is plan, 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 be organized, organized, organized. And every year, just like taking those notes, you take those notes, you have discussions. Me, my mom, and my sister would have talks, and you tweak it every year. I'm not going to say I had the perfect Valentine's Day or holiday, but you get better every year and you build confidence. And when you know something works, you capitalize on that. And I try to share that with my customers and say that you need to plan. And part of that planning is, for example, next week's Thanksgiving week. Those of you who do a lot of Thanksgiving arrangements, centerpieces, or what have you, we can plan. I can help you plan ahead and know for that week we're going to do heavy on certain key products that you would use for those centerpieces. And I encourage them to write recipes and narrow those down to a set amount and not try to do everything under the sun. Let's promote this and let's prepare for that. And by doing so, you're not only going to be prepared, but you're going to save yourself a lot of time and stress. And another thing too is let's sell a look and a color, and
That's
not
right.
try to sell every flower out there. You know,
Yeah.
and that's crucial. And I'm sure Deb can add to that.
Well, no, that's exactly right. I even have that written in one of my notes, sell color and not flowers. And as far as ensuring the right products and this and that and making something easy for your designers and a labor saver are the pre-made bouquets. So we use a certain amount of pre-made bouquets and pre-made foliage bouquets. And that takes seconds. I mean, the first year we did them, I think it was about 6 years ago, my designers were like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And if it's a lesser price, I always pick 2 price points for the pre-mades. And then some of them are larger and you can add 3 hydrangea. Poof, okay, that one's done. This particular one, you can do single or you can add 2 and you use a different vase. But we have always, and I just say, okay, we can do this, this, or this. Well, you 20 of this, 25 of that, 30 of that, and we have it already set. I even write colors, like if I got a certain color thing and I would like it better with another flower, take away these 2, put another, and then give that to our importers, wholesalers, the FTD flower exchange that is doing the recipes, because if they know in advance, they can tweak recipes for you that aren't for the specific holiday specials and do colors that you want to use, but they are fantastic. We used to take our vases out of the cooler. We use our fresh, water with our flower food. Critical again, care and handling is critical. And then we would green them up, put them back. And then when we started doing the pre-made foliage bouquets, we were putting them in with water, bringing them out. Where my husband said that took you a split second. You just put your water in your vases. You've already wrapped your fancy little ribbon around it or whatever, and it takes 3 seconds. Plop it in, and you're done. We don't need to be going in and out cooler anymore with a pre-made foliage bouquet. You just do it that second, and then add your flowers, and you're done. And if it's a pre-made bouquet of flowers, your foliage is already included in that in most cases, and you can just make a couple additions that are your own, or a different color of rose in something that you need to move. Maybe it's a purple and pink bouquet, but you're thinking, oh God, I got a lot of yellow. Let me add 3 yellow roses in the center and pop the colors, make a little change to move something. So I'm getting off on another topic. But I love the holidays like you do, Randy. I remember one long time ago, there was a designer that said, oh, Halloween. And I was like, what? I want to kiss the holiday on the lips. Really, bring it on, baby. Because when you are organized, you love it. And you're high-fiving your team. You're exhausted, but you're so friggin' happy that you accomplished this. But it's all through organization. That's the key.
Another thing that we've also found that really helps is when you're coming up on a major holiday, we'll have a daily checklist. Like on 30 days out, we want to have all this complete. 29 days out, we want to have this complete. So every day you're scratching something off that list that is getting you to that successful point at the end.
Yep.
That's a great idea. That's fantastic. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about possible dealing with possible product shortages. What key factors do you consider to avoid or shortages or
Well,
overstocking?
like Randy and Samantha both mentioned, if you order early, your chances are you get everything you need. But every once in a while, uh-oh, the stock was all bad, crap. So that's okay. So I also order other things knowing this may happen. Okay, what if I even get just some white snapdragons that are shorter or something, and you can put those in place of that. There are different flowers and things that you can use because, again, Randy mentioned, you're selling colors or a look, not a specific flower in that bouquet. So also we had that happen with vases and containers, and I was waiting for this certain one. It was back on a shipment. So then I said, okay, is it coming in? It didn't come. Well, I had already put it in that container. So I told my son, can you crop that picture on the website and just zoom it up so you don't really see what vase it's in? And he goes, I don't know, I can try. And it was perfect. So you cropped it and you knew it was in a vase, but you didn't know what the container was. And, we sold a whole lot. So you just have to,
Yes.
have your head on straight to pivot and make it happen, because I was like, oh God, I already have all the fresh flowers for this. I have the look, but that's a specific container. So let's just crop that right out of there. We could just tell there's something, and you don't know what, and it didn't matter. It was perfect. So you just have to be thinking on your toes. And you know what? Florists are creative people. So, we got to be creative in every capacity in the business. So, it's kind of, and you feel proud of yourself when you go, whew, got rid of that challenge, but we can do it.
That's awesome. Anything you wanted to add, Samantha, or anything that you guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea. I love the idea of cropping the container completely out, because we have run into that situation where we might have had a special container that we had years ago, but we still have the picture on our website. I love the idea of just cropping the container out and just being able to keep it up there.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, you have to let them see it's in something.
Yeah.
So you don't get it totally gone where it just looks like a full bleed of a beauty shot, but keep a container,
Just a
but
little
not, yeah, just a smidgen of it in there. So that was out of desperation. We make it work. And I think it was like over buying or something. I'm pretty good about not having anything left, which is kind of bad sometimes. And if you see something, go ahead.
I think the key to that, Deborah, with what you said is like you don't really have a lot of spoilage or overage, is because you will sell what you have.
Well, that's
And
what I was just saying.
that's what a problem I find with some of my florists. They're so specific to a recipe and they're stressing out. They got one order and it's got to have this, this, and that, and other. And I'm like, I can't get to you before 1 o'clock today. And they're like, well, what am I
Right.
going to do? I'm like, well, call your customer. 99% of the time you can say, I can give you that same look and feel. I just don't have this flower, or I can swap that same flower but for a different color. But
That's
they're
right.
afraid to do that. And I think a lot of times the retail customer, they want something pretty.
They don't care. You're
Anytime we've
absolutely
ever
right.
had a call.
Yes,
Yeah,
they are
anytime we've
so
ever had
happy.
a
Oh,
call.
it's okay. Yep. Whatever you think, they say,
Yep.
because they trust you. So they shouldn't be, none of you florists out there, don't be afraid. Your customers love you. That's why they order from you. They trust you, and they're going to say, that's okay, whatever you think. So don't be afraid about those things. And like you said, overages, I'll run in the cooler constantly and say, okay, what do we have a lot of? What do I need to move? Okay, put that in that design instead of that. Add this, it's just something you got to keep going, and it's all good.
Awesome. Randy, from your perspective, if certain flowers or supplies run low or become unavailable, what alternatives do you recommend to florists? And then how can they effectively communicate changes to their customers?
Well, there again, it goes back to selling a look and selling a color and selling something that's very similar. We have had several challenges this year with different products at different times for different reasons, whatever it may be. But from a wholesale standpoint, I try to stock things by types of flowers. Like I carry a huge selection of linear flowers, mass flowers, filler flowers. And so when you're calling and requesting white stock, and just like the last 2 weeks, there's been a problem with white stock.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what it was, but there was a problem. It didn't matter what source you got it from, it was still bad. But I always say, well, I've got white snapdragons, I've got white delphinium. You know, you change that up. You keep the structure of the type of flower. You just change it to a different flower, but keep that look. Um, there again, and it also comes back to being able, when you're at holiday time, being able to sell those everyday colors. If the popular color for the holiday is running tight or short, you be flexible. Like when I had my retail, one of the things that I used to do was, because I had to keep everyday colors in stock because I had funeral work, sympathy work. So when you would run low on red, white, and green for Christmas, I took these golden yellows and the soft conchador lilies, and I made this like yellow and white arrangement, and then I embellished it with a little bit of a gold faux pick or a gold ornament, and embellished it and sent it out for that. Another thing would be blues. Blues is hot right now. So do a
Mm-hmm.
blue and white Christmas arrangement and add some
Mm-hmm.
kind of blue Christmas ribbon or an ornament or that kind of thing, and you can sell what you have in your cooler and not just be stuck into one thing. It's got to be red, white, or green.
Okay, great. All right, let's kind of slightly pivot into just talking about supply chain disruptions and handling that. And I want to come back to you again, Randy, with potential shipping delays during the holidays. What are your recommendations for ensuring timely deliveries?
Well, one of the things that I try to encourage people to do is get your product in early. There's been running I've been running into some instances where people are only wanting their product 2 to 3 days ahead of when they're needing it. And a lot of times, if you wait until that last ship date before a major holiday, a lot of times it's not available or things are running short. So one of the things I encourage you to do is get those flowers on in a good 5 to 6 days before you need it. They need to hydrate and condition as well, but then that also gives you time to be preparing and designing in advance. Um, Another thing is I try to educate my customers when there's issues going on with the supply chain. Just like not long ago, we had a disruption in the supply chain due to some unrest going on in South America. There were delays. They were barricading the highway to the airport, and flights were delayed. Some flights never made it out. I always try to stay on top of that and communicate to my customer what to expect. I never try to wait until the day of and say, oh, by the way, I didn't have this, so that we can regroup and do something different.
Okay, all right. Deborah, have you ever faced unexpected supply chain issues during the holiday season? Outside of course, we all know we've gone through the pandemic
Yeah, no,
recently.
well, I think we kind of hit on that before when we talked about that having to make substitutions when I had all these recipes with
Yeah.
every color stock that's available because I love it. And then I didn't get any of it because the weather, it was raining and cold, so everything was botrytis. So that was the thing. So then you have to do, like Randy said, and find another flower that is that same shape that you're looking for and pivot. And then also with the vases, like I said, cut them out or just change it. Okay, we have this and this, and maybe not even making that recipe have to have the same container for all of them. But you know, you just gotta be able to twist and turn at a moment's notice, which again, I think florists are good at that. And if you have somebody in your shop that's like the Chicken Little, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, maybe that person needs to take a step back and do something else or go sweep the floor or something. They're like, well, it's not, you know, do something that they don't have to think too much. And you need that cheerleader out there that's like, we got this, we got this. All right, you have to have, so make sure you have your most positive person in the right spot. I'm a great cheerleader for my girls, and every single solitary day, every day. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. Great job, team. Great job, everybody. And you know what I love so much? We had a nice wedding over the weekend, and my one of my grandsons, Michael, was helping us, and he even was thanking the girls, at, you know, hugging them at 9 o'clock at night when we were done with part of the wedding. Great job today. So I was like, oh, you know, but you have to pat your staff on the back, make them feel good. All right. And also give them sweets and lots of caffeine.
Keep the
Doesn't
pot
hurt.
on.
But you know what? Gus used to always tell me, you know, the holidays, it's a marathon. not a sprint. So it's a marathon. So make sure your staff, the week going into it, is well hydrated. They're eating properly. You know, we all are in this together, and to get through it together, we have to be healthy. So we have to be mindful of all that. But, you know, but being a cheerleader, I'm telling you, it goes a long way. And if I see them make, and I'm like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. You know, I am so proud of everything they do, and I let them know. So that's good. Get a cheerleader.
Get a cheerleader. All right.
Yeah.
Samantha, do you have any advice for florists to navigate any challenges?
Well, I mean, I think we have definitely talked about it a little bit, but just being able to pivot and being ready to pivot and expecting that's definitely going to happen, because challenges are always going to come up. They come up in our every day. You'll get somebody calling that is asking for something new that you've maybe never done before, and you have to be ready to accept that challenge. Uh, and as far as like with the holidays coming up, we've talked about Thanksgiving as such a traditional orange and yellows and, the browns and reds. But Deb did an amazing feminine fall, she called it, where
Mhm.
she had all the pinks and the purples and the fall contained, and it was just this gorgeous arrangement. And that pivot led to new sales and, a new item on her website that's doing great, I hear. But
Mhm.
just being ready to just work with what you have and being able to accept the challenge, because we are designers. We should be able to rework it and just get on with the day and be prepared.
Get
Yeah.
on with the day.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. I want to remind those that are out there, if you do have any questions, we've got plenty of questions that we're going to be talking about and sharing success strategies, best practices. But if you've got any questions you want to ask any of our three amazing panelists, feel free to drop those in the questions box and I'll be sure to get to those. I want to pivot to, let's talk about products and top selling products. Randy, from your side, are there any new or trending products that you're seeing or that you're excited about for this holiday season that the retail florists should consider adding to their inventory?
Well, there's a couple. One that can be used in holiday. It's not a traditional holiday color, but those of you who have not used the blue ocean palms, they are, I know Deb has, they are hugely popular because blue, like I said earlier, is a hot color right now. And so
Mhm.
people are just really gravitating to anything blue, and that's very new to the market. And we sell a ton of that. Another thing that is very popular with everyday, but now is really popular with fall and will play off into Christmas, is the champagne cushion.
Mm.
That is those colors, and there's
Mhm.
a spray rose we sell a lot of called Cream Earth. It's a little bit darker than the quicksand rose, but it is spot on with what is trending. Um, those are really, really hot right now. We're seeing those tones and peach and burgundy really
Mhm.
hot. Um, I would say the hottest trending color is blue, and they're using it with everything. Um, almost almost especially in wedding work, we're seeing a lot of this. I call it very organic when it comes to color, because you have this light blue and this peach and this light pink, and then you throw in, now in fall they're throwing in a little bit of rust and
Mhm.
um, and the coffee break and that kind of thing to warm it up for fall. So
Mhm.
those type of colors and flowers I've seen all year long be very popular.
Don't you love that blue spray delphinium? Oh,
Yes, yes.
I have that on a standing order. I'm smitten with that. Blue is going in everything now because isn't it beautiful? It's just got all those little breaks and you can do that little separated kind of, you know, crescent shaped bouquets in it. And oh, I just love it so much. Oh, it's great. That's a great blue. And I wrote down notes for the cream earth. I'm going to look for that
Mm-hmm.
creamy chrysanthemum. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for those tips.
Yes.
Mhm.
Awesome.
If you're familiar with the Peach Sahara
Yes.
Sensation Spray Rose,
Yes.
Those are a little, they're very popular, so they're a lot harder to find. But the
Mm-hmm.
cream earth tone spray
Mm-hmm.
rose is new. It's been out about a year and a half maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
it's accessible, so it really works well.
Good to know. Thank you.
Awesome. Samantha, how do you decide which product offerings to highlight in your store and online?
So as far as online goes, just identifying your best sellers. You
Mm-hmm.
understand and you're seeing what's coming through your website on what is selling the most, what maybe hasn't sold in quite a while, and also with customer feedback. You can definitely tell when a customer is, giving you the feedback on what they liked, what everybody's ordering. We're seeing a lot of the blue as well here, so definitely stocking up on stuff like that, and really maybe highlighting your signature style. Like if you have a signature style in your shop that kind of sets you apart from any other shops in your area, really highlighting that on your main page on your website is definitely a way that you can promote yourself and your shop.
Awesome. Awesome. Uh, Deborah, how about you? Do you create, I mean, I know you create specials to promote in your store and on your website.
I love
You're,
it. We talking about the colors and things. So we have one of our most popular is called the French Country, and it's blues and purples. So then I was looking at the website that one day, and I had all these bronze things. So I said, "Oh, I'm gonna do a fall French Country." And then my son just kind of looks at me, whatever. So it's the same thing, and you just stick some fall leaves in there, a couple bronze, those beautiful button disc buds, and 3 of those in there, and a couple fall foliage. And it was like, ta-da! And it makes it fit for the season. And then we change it up and put some ornaments in it for Christmas. So it's the same recipe that we're all used to, that we know sells like crazy, the blue and purple, and we just tweak it for each holiday. It's a glorious thing. You don't have to always reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just gotta navigate it in a different direction. But yeah, we do things all the time. Did you ask me about the website or storing on your website? Yes. And I don't want to jump to email marketing yet because we're not on that.
no, and we actually have a question from Angela. She said they're struggling with folks that are not having money to spend. They're being very cautious. What can they do? What can she do to get them in? She said the election year is always a rough one. So Samantha,
Who wants
Deborah.
to? You want me to take it first?
Yeah.
As far as people coming in, we were even told with our website that we needed to have a couple of things a little less expensive. So we just kind of make things a little more airy, because a lot of times we're still doing those compact designs with some things, coming out in a radial form. But we kind of make things a little airier. We have purchased some smaller vessels. We just got an order because my son put out there, there's another topic, that we can do your holiday gifts for you. You don't have to wait in line. Just click this on the website. And I just finished running here real quick before this 30 hand-tied bouquets. We put little vases. They were $35 each, but 35 times 30 of them was a glorious sale. So you have to let your customers know that you can do that. So we do have to have things like that available for our customers. And you can put that as a cash and carry only if you want. And they have to come in to get that purchase item. That way they can see some other things and purchase some little gift items that are less expensive, that are right there as that impulse sale, that are on your counter. So because sometimes they'll come in and look and go, whoa, I just finished a $400 arrangement. I got a $350 one in the cooler all the time and whatever. So there are high-end things. So I even have to tell myself, not everybody has that budget. Make some little cute designs. We all have those containers that need to be used that are around. So I would really promote it on social media. My husband does a great job doing the social media, and he targets a certain zip code within a 5-mile radius of the shop. And we'll do some small and cash and carry only, come in and see us. And we do some of the less expensive items on there, and it works really well for us. Flowers are wonderful, and you need them and they need you. So
Yeah, definitely the walk-in specials. That's some we also utilize anytime that we might have overpurchased a little bit, or we might have a little excess of something. We'll put something on a special for that day or the next day only to get people to come in and get more of the foot traffic in.
Mhm.
Awesome. Great idea. Great idea. Since we're already talking about marketing and stuff like that, we'll kind of just roll right into some of those questions. Samantha, what are your marketing strategies? What marketing strategies are your go-tos?
Definitely social media. I feel like you can get such a wide reach even just using it as a free platform. And you don't always have to necessarily pay for ads. You
Mhm.
can, there is a great way that you can link up your Instagram and your Facebook, where that anytime you post to one, it posts to both of them. I love the TikTok thing that everybody's doing now. And even sometimes we'll do a live video in our shop of just making an arrangement. Anything that gets people clicking on you shows up to other people in that market as well. Around usually Valentine's Day, Christmas, the major holidays, we will run an ad on Facebook, and just kind of like Deb said, there's a way that you can target the radius that you're going into, so where you make sure that it's hitting the people that are in your delivery area. And just another thing is anytime that we do any sort of photos or anything on our website or on social media, we like to make sure the background is pretty consistent in the majority of them, so that everything is kind of branded throughout. So our logos and our colors and just our overall fonts that we use for everything, everything's consistent. So anytime anywhere in our city sees a little green tag on flowers, they don't even have to read anything. They know it's exactly from our shop. So just being able to where your customer can identify you without even having to read anything, then that helps as well.
That's the best. We also do in our area, we do a minimum of 2 emails to our customers every week, so twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday. Sometimes I'll say on Friday, can you do one more? You know, so I want to show this, and then we just run and take a picture and make it happen. But all of the emails that are done have the click on it to go to the website. So you click on that item, takes you right to the website to order it. It is so easy. The customers love it. It's user friendly, and they just couldn't be happier for the process. We also do reminder postcards. Last year, you sent flowers to Aunt Betty for her birthday. We would love to help you do that again this year. So that's a little postcard, and we send those out to all the customers that ordered, you know, that month, the year before, for anything, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, it doesn't matter. And all of our orders that go out of our shop have a postcard on them that have the picture of our building, because our building is known in the area. And it has, you know, different shots on it of designs we've done. It also has a little $5 coupon, and every once in a while you'll get somebody to redeem that, but they might have that postcard in their pocket. The husband will say, my wife sent me here and I saw the building. So, you know, this day and age, you have to do everything right. All the other companies, Amazon, all of them are out there doing it all. So we have to learn the technology, and thank God for FTD and other companies in the industry that are helping us to be able to do this with shops that, you know, aren't tech savvy, or they're mom and pop shops and don't know how to do this. So we really appreciate everyone's help in keeping us up into the century and being able to get it done for our customers and stay relevant.
Awesome, awesome. And then I'm assuming that you guys are promoting your website through, like, Samantha, does your social media stuff go directly to your website as well to place orders?
Absolutely. Yeah, when you click it, it definitely does that. Instagram's got a link on it. We also do the email marketing through our website. So yeah, it's pretty easily accessible. Anytime a receipt is sent to the customer, it also has a link on there. It's where you can click to get right back to it.
Awesome, that's great. Awesome. And I'll start with you, Deb, but Samantha, you can also answer this question too. Do you guys host any events or special promotions that generate walk-in traffic?
We do a centerpiece, you know, the little hands-on where they can create their own centerpiece and take it home. You know what's so funny is this is things that we did a long time ago, and then we kind of forgot about it. And then you have this companies that do the painting and wine or paint the grain, or, you know, and they're making things, and it's like, well, we did that first. Well, then why didn't we keep doing it and kind of change it a little bit? So we'll do little centerpiece classes the week before the holiday. And if I've done it, I let people keep the arrangement in the cooler so that it lasts. and then they'll come get it the day before, because we'll do the Saturday before, and then they're able to keep it. If you'd like, you can keep this and then come pick it up on Tuesday or Wednesday, and it'll be nice and fresh for you, you know, that kind of thing. So we do that. I haven't done an open house in a few years, and right now our store just got painted, and we have this garden patio and everything's shoved in there. It's kind of like a mess right now. So we're getting it back together. So I don't know if we're gonna like quickly put something together this year. I think we need to, just for, and maybe you can even call it customer appreciation. You know, thank you for your loyalty, and do something where we're giving them hors d'oeuvres and da 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 da. Just do something that's a happy holidays, thank you so much, customer appreciation. So that's kind of what we're thinking, but I don't have the brilliant answer, but I'm sure Samantha does.
Well, I am a little lucky that my shop is located on the main street of our town. So
Nice.
we're very involved with our chamber. The town is pretty small, so we do a lot of get-togethers. We do 2 open houses a year. We have an art and wine stroll that they usually have in September, and then in December is when we have our Christmas open house, and we'll have, you know, we usually have an eggnog daiquiri machine on that, and we serve eggnogs, virgin eggnog.
Mhm.
But we also, for the art and wine stroll, we'll do wine, and we'll have a featured artist in. But just to get new people in, and one of the best things that I love about that is this past art and wine stroll, I think we had about 25 brides stop in of previous brides, and they come in like, what is he, how you were doing? They've told so and so about you, and you know, it's just the word of mouth at that point. Another thing, because we are involved with our chamber does like what they call an after hours. So that's really when all the businesses kind of get together to where you can start networking with the other businesses. They get familiar with the other shops in their town, and that definitely helps the word of mouth spread, and to help you get more business as well.
Wonderful.
That's cool. That sounds great. And Randy, I don't want to, you know, skip you, but if you even just thinking back to your retail days, were there any other special events or in-house things that you did?
Well, for us, a holiday open house was always huge for us. That always, matter of fact, here in town, they still continue that, and it's actually this weekend. It's always the Sunday before Thanksgiving here. Um, and it was huge, huge. We kind of got known for the Christmas go-to in town. We did a huge Christmas, and within a 4-hour period, we would have back in the day, we had a register that where they signed their name, signed in, and gave us an email and a phone number, and that's how we gauged. And we were anywhere from 325 to 350 people in our door in that 4-hour period, and it was huge. Now, did they all buy during that time? No, but people were coming the week leading up to it, and then the weeks that followed, they were constantly in and out. We partner with a lot of organizations, such as the Young Farmers Association. We do workshops for them. We did workshops for the public, just engaging and putting our product in the consumer's hands. You'll be surprised at the people who love to touch flowers. Our
Mhm.
product can change a mood and lift a spirit like nothing else. So if you're not doing that, I would encourage you to do that. If you weren't confident enough to do it on your own, pair up with another organization and y'all do a joint venture together or something.
It's a great idea. It's a great
Right.
idea. I we kind of already touched on, I think a while ago, Deborah had mentioned just talking about our staffing and that, but let's just talk briefly about staffing and operations. Deborah, how do you manage staffing during the holiday rush?
That again comes from my notes, because it's like, okay, did I have enough people on the phones? Did I have enough people out front? You know, all that type of thing. So those are in my notes. How are the drivers? Okay, I had this many. Then we have a troubleshooter driver that's always there just to run real fast. We always keep somebody there, and that person's cleaning the flowers, cleaning out the cooler, and rotating things, and that person runs. So always have a runner. Our designers, we give them an assistant, because your designers can pump out a lot more if they got somebody running. And if you're organized, okay, say if you're either doing production style or this designer's doing this design, have all that product that she or he is using there instead of them having to run and get it. We also have all our, if it's a teddy bear you're selling or a box of chocolates, we have them already in their gift bag or already pre-wrapped, ready to go. The person who's taking the order needs to grab those items and run it back with the order so it doesn't get forgot. But all these things, your boxes have to be prepared already with your little logo sticker on it, your tissue in it, that the box is going for the customers that come out. They're already sitting there stacked in 2 areas. It's just, again, going back to the very beginning of the conversation where we talked about being organized and organization. And those things also help you. Maybe you can do away with 1 or 2 other people because all of this is already done. You're not doing it the last minute. It's not a surprise when the holiday is. You know the day it's coming, so get ready. And everybody, sometimes you hear them, well, I'm waiting for orders. What the heck's the matter with you? You can't be sitting around waiting for them. First of all, you need to be going to get them through your email marketing, through your social media, make the orders come to you, tell people what you do. You know, we always had curbside thing. If people called, we go things out. And then it was the mass markets that said, oh, we're having people come to the curb. And I was like, we've had people pick up from our shop for 40 years. But you know what? We never told them. So I did an email like that. And it said, we're offering curbside pickup. And I said to my niece, get in my car. She pulls the car up to the front of the shop. I run out. I got a box of flowers. They don't know it's my niece, you know, working at the shop. I'm handing it to her. Michael takes a shot. We put it on social media. Everybody said, what a wonderful thing you're offering for the customers. And it's like, oh my God. But we need to look at other companies, what they're doing, instead of us thinking, I've been doing that forever. But we forget to tell the consumer all the wonderful things we offer and how great our customer service is. We carry everything out. If somebody gets a thing of flowers, we carry it out to their car. Our runners, my grandson's like, okay, guys, come on. Here's another one. Out you go, out the door. No, this is something we do. The grocery store carries things out. Our Publix carries things out. So these are things people remember. They're always like, oh my gosh, what a wonderful service. And there you are, follow them out like a little duck, all happy. Also, you welcome them in. We have a young girl who's amazing. She's Scottish, so she has a great accent. She's so cute. Welcoming people in the store during the holidays, you know, walking them to the back. And then if she gets busy with someone else, and us, our counter, people can see us. So we're right there where the customer is. And we jump out from behind the counter to wait on people as well. And it's just so much fun. But you welcome them into the store, you service them and take care of their needs happily. And they are so happy to watch what you're doing because we don't have a back room. We're right there. So they love all the things that are going on. And then you thank them for their business. And then you invite them back. And that is something I learned when one of my grandsons was 5. And he was in the shop and he told some lady, thank you for buying that. Come back and see us. And I was like, well, that was pretty smart. So these are little things, but it's common sense. And it goes a long way, I promise you. Thank them for their business, and then they know you mean it. And tell them, I can't wait to see you again. Come back and see us. That's really easy.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that it's something simple like that. Sometimes you don't think about it, and then when you do, you're like, yeah, why am I not doing that? It's like these things, and it costs me nothing, and it's building that relationship with your customer. You know.
Yeah, the customer relationship is such a huge thing that we really harp on anytime that we hire anybody new, because we do the same thing as Deb. Everybody gets walked out to the car. Another thing that I actually learned at another job before I became a florist and a floral designer is, you know, just stepping out from behind the counter, because people can kind of get stuck behind that counter and it doesn't make it as personable of an experience. So when you come out into the retail area from the design area and really kind of walk them around the store and show them the different things that you have to offer, and then walk them out, they feel that personal experience that is really kind of lacking in a lot of the big box stores, or a lot of, you know, all this online ordering and everything like that. When they're in there, you have the chance to really make their experience that much better, to where you're making it to where they almost gonna fight not to come back to you,
Right.
because they just had such a great time there. So they're going to come back, and you're building a customer for life.
True.
Yes, very important. Deborah, what do you do to keep your team motivated And I'll
I
ask you
told you
that as
that.
well, Samantha. Yes, you
I'm
thank
a
them all the
cheerleader
time.
and I give them sweets and caffeine. They're bonuses. They get paid well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
What
can,
do you do,
it can
Samantha?
never be emphasized enough.
Yeah.
We play the games. I love competition, so sometimes we'll turn something into a little competition on who can sell the most today, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
fighting to see who can upsell or who can add on a teddy bear or who can add on this or a candle or if they can get on to buy the premium instead of the deluxe size. So anything that makes it fun. Definitely the caffeine. We always have the coffee pot on. It seems like the best thing ever. And yes, the donuts in the morning is always a great. In busy holiday times, I always make sure that we have a lots of finger food just laying around that they can just pass and grab and go and eat and keeps them
Mm-hmm.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys do to either of your shops or even Randy at the wholesale? Do you guys do like a holiday potluck, like staff potluck that's in the back
That's
room where
that's
everybody's
what I was
bringing in a
going to
crock
tell
pot?
you. Yes, I can't tell you when it started. It probably started from the very beginning, 21 years ago. I don't remember. If it didn't, it was shortly after. But we we started hiring off-duty firemen. This is back before we had phones that had GPS. Okay, so it tells you how old I am. But I hired them. But one of the things that kept them coming back was the food, because my mom and the staff. I mean, we had food, and when I tell you food, it wasn't finger food. We're talking roast and potatoes and rice
The good stuff.
and Brunswick stew, and then we had all kind of desserts. Yeah, and that tradition stayed true all the way up till I sold this past year. Um, I think Deb and Samantha are spot on. I mean, it's keeping people motivated, and it's talking about a cheerleader. Deborah's a cheerleader not only for her staff, but she's a cheerleader for the whole industry, honey. Let me
Yeah.
tell you. If you don't
That
Always
she
believe me,
is.
proud of
just check out
everybody.
social media. Yes. Um, but it's keeping things, trying to keep it fun and not so serious, because we're all tired. We're all working hard. It is,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to keep it fun. And we do. Um, Talking about planning, in the beginning, I'll never forget the biggest motivator for me to get organized in planning was my first Valentine's Day. My mom and I did not leave the shop for 41 hours straight.
Oh,
And
God.
I looked at her afterwards and I said, never again, never again. And as the years went, the staff loved it because we became better prepared, and we never worked. We never had to stay late anymore. We
Yeah.
never kept those long hours. And that meant a lot to them. It's all about keeping that morale going.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice. All right. We've got just a little bit of time left, so we're going to touch a little bit more on customer experience. But if anybody else has any other questions, now's the time. Drop those in the question box on your control panel. Deborah, how do you maintain a high level of customer service during that busy holiday period?
Again, having that extra person there greeting people so they don't feel like they're wandering around, nobody's paying attention to them. Again, we are all right there where we see them, so we come out from our counter and take care of people, and everything just to be high level and great. You need to purchase your flowers from reputable wholesalers, your importers. You have to, they trust you, you trust them. It's a wonderful relationship, like Randy's talking about. And they're so lucky to have him because he comes from that retail end, so he knows exactly what the florists need and what their needs are. So it's really a perfect thing. They're in a really lucky position to have him. But just keeping that, your flowers are going to be top notch. Care and handling the flowers ensures that they're going to be the best quality and long lasting. Creating gorgeous designs like you always do. You can't get sloppy. It's funny when people come in and want to help you in the shop and they think that you're going to stick them behind the design table. And it's like, nope. Do you know how to use a
Nope.
broom? So nobody gets to touch the flowers. We can show you some care and handling, and even that, I'm afraid, I don't just let anybody cut the flowers. You have to know different flowers need different needs. You have to be cleaned properly. It's kind of a picky thing. So I'm pretty picky about where I put who. So we keep that experience well. We don't, just kind of throw it out to the wolves or whatever. And again, thanking people and carrying out the car, so you're still keeping that wonderful positive experience. On the phones, great. The best person I have on my phones is my son Michael. He is so personable and so amazing, and a great sense of humor, knowledgeable. He knows what he's doing, and I'm so proud of him. But he does a great job. But he's just one person. So if you try to sit the other guys near so they can listen, because you learn so much listening to how others are handling the situations. And just if you have somebody new, have them sit and listen to what the others are saying and how they're doing it. And that's just the best way to get somebody to learn things. When I started doing all the weddings in Dana, I turned it over to my niece, and she sat through many, many consultations with me. She listened to how I talked to them. She saw the emails I sent out, how I worded things. And now I haven't sat with the bride, and I don't know when. I walk by and say, hi, I'm Aunt Debbie, and thank you for coming in. We're so happy to have you. We'd love to be part of your special day. And then I walk off, and we go over pricing together and everything. But it's, you have to keep that integrity in your stores, and you got to carry it through everything you do. Don't slack off. No slackers.
Well, my saying has been for years, we're not just selling flowers anymore. We're selling customer service and talent.
That's right. Yep. True. So true. And
Yeah.
all of you out there have wonderful talent. So you got that nipped in the bud already.
Yeah. Samantha, do you have any tips for ensuring a smooth and positive experiences during the holiday rush for the customers?
Yeah, definitely being prepared, taking your notes, really going back over your previous year's sales, and anything if you're just starting out as far as getting those notes taken, just really trying to remember, talk with your staff that was there last year on what they can remember going forward. Just really, really being prepared. Anything that, as far as hard goods that can be done, having all that prep. Like I know Deborah mentioned bags and stamping and all that. Get all that done as soon as you can. We're really slow usually during July and August. So July and August are massive times that we sit down and we do a lot of housekeeping around the shop. We're getting ready for homecoming. We're getting ready for Valentine's Day. We're prepping for anything that we can possibly prep for and get out of the way, so we're not worried about it later down the road. It's just one less thing that's on our plate when we start to get busy. And then just really just breathing. You don't have to rush through everything. Spend time with your customers, really listen to their needs, tell them what you can offer them, show them how great you are, and get them to come back and just take notes for next year.
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. Randy, and I think Deb mentioned it too, but maybe in your words, how do your many years as a retail florist help you as a wholesale florist?
Well, I think it creates a great situation between me and my customers. The relationship that I can form with my customers because I'm relatable. I'm not just someone pushing flowers. I've been there, I've done it. And one of the greatest compliments that we've heard over the last 3 years is the fact that they trust us and trust my opinion. And I'm not trying to say that to pat me on the back. It's just I've been there. And if there's many times they will, say, I need X, Y, Z. And then they'll say, hey, pull me $500 worth of products. I trust you. And that happens quite a lot. Or I've got some shops, because we work so early in the morning, I'm normally in the building at least by 4, and trucks
Oh
are
my
rolling
God.
early. So if we run into problems with orders that come overnight that I'm out of product, they'll tell me, sub, I'm good with your substitution. And that means a lot to me, but it also means a lot to the customer. So coming from that background, we have many conversations, even down to when they're planning and writing out their recipes and stuff. They will call and ask, hey, I need advice. What would work best? So we have that kind of relationship because they know I've been there.
Awesome. I guess another final question for you. What can retail florists do to build a stronger relationships with their local wholesalers to ensure that they have smoother operations and better support during peak times like the holidays?
Well, when you have that, it's communication. It's all about communication and trust, and you have to have that. And I believe if you work together, I mean, I had a lady one time, her thing was, I, I really fall short in getting my orders done and getting my orders in time. I don't like that part of it. I'm so busy. And so I came back to the table with her and I said, how about you and I sit down and let's just create a standing order, a starter order for the week. Let's just every Monday, this comes without you doing anything. And then as the week progresses, then we'll fill in. She hadn't thought about that. And that was not rocket science or anything. It's just me having a conversation with her and her having a conversation with me and understanding her needs and offering a solution. So it's all about communication. I tell them all the time, we're in this together. You're successful, I'm successful, and I'm here to help facilitate that. And it all starts with the flowers. So it's just all about communication for me.
That was brilliant of you to do for her, and that's why she trusts you so much.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you just did it in an easy way where it wasn't overwhelming for her, and then it was easy to add on. So that was congratulations to you for that, for your customers, because that was pretty brilliant. She'll always trust you and always be one of your clients.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to open it up to you guys. Is there any final thoughts, tips, anything that any of the three of you want to share? Although I feel like you've shared so much and a lot of really great ideas, suggestions, things that you guys have done over the years to make your shop so successful and your businesses successful.
I'm just I even got motivated, from listening to you guys. But very, very excited for the holidays. We're already in, Thanksgiving had been taken away by the mass market many, many, many years ago. So again, it's up to us to get out there and try to get some of it back and not just say, oh, well, it's gone and give up. That's just not the right attitude. So just keep up the good work, everybody. You got this. Holidays are fun if you're organized. They are, and you make money, and it's the coolest thing. You're not sitting around twiddling your thumbs. Really. It's like, bring it on. That's what I say. Bring on the holidays. So congratulations to you guys. And all you florists out there, we're so proud of you, and I'm your cheerleader, and you got this. So go get those orders. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much, Deborah, Samantha, Randy. Lot of great stuff that you shared, a lot of great tips. Angela says she loved this. Thank you so much for sharing. And I don't see any other questions, so I just want to thank everyone who was able to join us today. Recording will be available on demand on the FTD Mercury Network Florist YouTube channel. For more education programming from FTD, please visit ftdi.com to register for any upcoming free webinars and design shows and to view those past education programs on demand. So thank you, everyone, and hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season.
Okay. Love you
Happy
guys.
holidays.
Thank you, Janet. Bye, guys.
Bye.